Right guys, yesterday I shared a video giving you guys an update about me, my life, everything. I didn't think people would be that interested, to be honest, because it's just about me. I've always cringed at the thought of speaking about myself, and that's why I've always tried my best to stick to the stories. And the only time that I've ever talked about myself is when I've shared my own story on the channel, because I always thought that if I'm sharing everybody else's stories, then I should share my own because of the kind of content that I provide. Yeah, a lot of people would say that was a bad move, caused me a lot of problems in my life because of my ex and stuff. And yeah, anyway, as by the by, we can't change the past, but we live and learn, don't we? So yeah, I try not to talk about any of that now, and I just try to get on with things. Now, in the video yesterday, I explained to people that I've got a remote job. I've got a couple of YouTube channels now, and I've got other revenue streams online, and that I've been working 14, 15, 16-hour days to generate as much money as possible, so I can get back to Thailand, to my son, because that's what it's all for. You have to remember, in Thailand, I live in Isan. Yeah, it's not a holiday destination. Yeah, it's actually better to be here than it is there, to be honest. There's more to do here than there is there. You're just paying for the super hot weather. But yeah, guys, I'd rather stay in England, which I said in the video yesterday. But my son's there, he needs me. And the reality is that even if I was here working hard or even harder, which I think is impossible right now, then it'd probably take me a couple of years to be in a situation where I could bring my son back to the UK. So the idea was then to go back to Thailand in July and work hard and save up money there, because it's a lot cheaper for me the way that I'll live while I'm over there. I can save a lot of money up. So hopefully then in one or 2 years, I can bring my son back to the UK and we just get on with life. Now, if I was to go out and not work 14, 15, 16 hours a day and get a normal job like what some people said in the comments, then obviously, one, I would make a lot less money, so that would be not great. And two, I can't bring that job to Thailand. So again, that's pointless. Otherwise, I'd do it. I'd rather work 8 hours doing a normal job where I don't really have to use my brain that much, and I can switch off when I finish work, rather than doing what I'm doing now. I have never worked this hard in my entire life. Even when my business was at the pinnacle and I was doing really well with it, I worked hard, yeah, super hard, but not as hard as I'm doing now. I've got everything to fight for, I've got everything to play for, and I'm doing it for my son, yeah. The idea was, when I come back to England, was to set up my own business again. And if you watch the first video that I made when I come back to England, I explained why I'm not doing that. I explained that I couldn't stay at my friend's, he'd let me down, said he was ill and all this kind of stuff, so I couldn't stay there. So I ended up in York, and I explained everything about that story in that video. But I also understand that people don't watch every single video. So I answered that comment multiple times because people didn't read anybody else's comment. So I answered it over and over again, and then I'm like, can't keep answering the same comment over again. Now with that video, it's got about 4,800 views. I would guess that about 2,000 of those views are from people that support me, people that like my channel, want to see an update in a positive way, and then the rest of them are people that don't particularly like me because I share the truth on this channel and I kind of expose them in a way. And just because it's the internet, you do get a lot of hate and you get a lot of people that don't like you. And it is normally the bitter guys, the guys that are depressed, fed up, life hasn't worked out how they planned it, and they don't want you to do well, they don't want you to succeed. And if life's going bad for somebody they hate, it makes them feel better. And if their comment gets highlighted and a lot of likes and people agree with them, then they get validation and they feel visible online, and that gives them gratification and makes them feel better. It's weird, it's wacky, but this is what gets these guys off, unfortunately. Now, yesterday, I mentioned a little bit about politics, right? And I thought, let's have a laugh today, just because I'm in one of those moods, guys, where I just think, yeah, go on, we'll have a laugh. So I explained that ever since I was a little kid, I kind of worked out that this voting system is a bit wacky and a bit weird, because people are literally handpicked for you to vote. So you get given an option of, I don't even know how many candidates there are. I'm not that into it. You get so many candidates that have apparently been voted in by the people or whatever, but I've never brought anybody in. And I don't know anybody who knows anybody who's brought anybody in. So these people get brought in, and then you get to vote for these people to get into power, to be the Prime Minister, and for your life to become better, your daily life to become marvellous and amazing and wonderful. Now, since I was a kid up until now, I have never ever known any Prime Minister to go into power that's radically changed the everyman's life. Maybe big business people, maybe big corporations, but not the average person. Yet every year, every time the voting process comes up, or whenever it is, there's always people voting. People argue about it online, people talk about it, people get into debates, and people really get into it. Now, since I've been doing YouTube and I started investigating other YouTubers because I couldn't get my head around a lot of things, I started to learn that on platforms like YouTube and other platforms, you can buy fake comments for your videos, fake likes, and you can even buy fake subscribers for your videos. So if I was a politician and I'm trying to get people's votes, let's say your vote does actually matter, then on videos, I would spend so much money, because I have to try to think how these people would think. You have a certain budget on what you spend money on to get people's votes, and I would spend a lot of money. Let's say 10,000, that's not even a lot, is it? But let's say I spend £10,000 on comments. That will give me thousands upon thousands of comments that look like they come from real profiles stating that this guy's the best, or that woman's the best, or you'd be mad not to vote for them, blah, 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 blah. And when people read that, we have what's called the sheep factor, unfortunately, in human society, and people follow the crowd, they follow the herd, or whatever you want to call it, and they'll do what other people do. Not everybody, but the majority. That's how it is. Human beings are a highly manipulatable species, always have been. And that's why there's adverts on your TV all the time to manipulate you into buying whatever they're selling. That's why they spend a fortune to get advertised on TV. Movies are out there as well to warp your mind and make you want to have this flashy car or be this type of person or to get rich. And there's so much suggestion all over the place. Billboards, buses, advertising everywhere, TV, that people don't realize that they're being manipulated on a daily basis at all. But society is built in a way where you're not supposed to see it. You're not supposed to know it. There's a reason why you go to work every day. There's a reason why money is printed for you to chase it every day. There's a reason why you're allowed to get into debt. There's a reason why there's a mortgage and stuff. Society is designed to keep you busy so you don't think about certain things. Yeah. Call it a conspiracy, whatever. Yeah. Because normally when you tell the truth, you get told you're a nut job, which stops people from doing it. And if you've got a big enough voice, again, fake comments will be paid to go on a channel to basically discredit you in order to push other people to believe that you're full of BS kind of thing. And people don't realize how crazy it all really is. And what I'm stating to you is just like, it's a tiny fraction of what really goes on. But I'm mentioning this today to you because I want people to understand, people that care about their own lives and the futures of the kids and all that, that if the system doesn't change, more than likely the cost of living is going to keep rising. Things are going to get tougher and harder, and your children are growing up into the new society of what it's going to be like. And if something radically doesn't change, then it's never going to change. And you voting for a different party, you know, if you're English and you're voting for a different party that says that they're going to radically change everything. How many parties have said that in the past? How many other people have said it? How many of these politicians have said that they're going to radically change our lives for the better? But it never happens. Guys, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't want you to do anything. I just want you to think about it. Yeah, that's it. Think about it. I might not even post this video. I'm just thought I'd have a little chit chat, a little break like I did yesterday. Have a little waffle for a bit, talking about things that are probably not helpful. Who knows? But yeah, I spend a lot of time, you know, sharing these stories and trying to give my take on it to try to actually be of a help. I don't just do it to make money from YouTube. I do it because I want to help people as well. And that was a way that I thought I could help people. And I did help people, but not as many people as I could have helped via talking about different things or getting involved in different things. But I do find the more exposure you get online, the more grief you get, and the more of the trolls you get, and the people that are really unhappy with life, they will come after you. And it is what it is. It's how the internet is. Anybody who's miserable, depressed, fed up, life's not going to plan, they're kind of like an online bully. They can't be a bully in real life, so they have to be a bully online. And that is the truth. That's the ultimate truth. And they're normally guys that have got, you know, stuff going on, which doesn't make them bad people. They're just a little bit lost right now. We all get lost, but it's how we deal with it, you know, and push forward. But anyway, guys, I'd love to know what you actually think in the comments, because I find a lot of these big platforms where I read the comments, I know that a lot of them are going to be paid for comments and they're not real people. They're just bots, basically, with fake comments all over them. So I'd love to know how people actually think and feel about the voting process. Do you believe that it's going to make a change, your vote? Do you believe that a certain party is going to radically change your everyday life? Do you believe that they all sit at the same table? Do you believe it's all just a puppet show and an act to manipulate and control the population? You know, there's a lot of things that I can speak about, and there's a lot of things that I can go into on this channel, but I don't want it to get too controversial. And just talking about Thai girls and stuff is enough to be controversial, which is ridiculous, and people get all heated about it. Guys fall in love with freelancers and bar girls and then can't get their head around why the woman was only interested in them for money, why the relationship's failing, why it's not working. And then the guys that don't like me will try to discredit me and say, you got with a bar girl or a freelancer. No, I didn't. Yeah, I moved to rural Thailand on my own as a single guy, and I met a woman off a dating site who I got chatting to. I didn't really want to meet, but she kept asking and asking and asking, so we met for a coffee. We didn't meet in a bar, didn't meet at the corner of a street, yeah. And I never paid a monthly salary. I never rented a girlfriend or rented a wife, because I don't believe in it. So the woman could be the hottest woman in the world, and I still wouldn't pay her for me to be with her. I don't believe in it. It's a big thing for me. Some people do. Yeah, I get it. Guys are fed up. They've had enough. They're willing to pay to play. But up to you, you know, everyone's different. But for me, I just didn't want to do it. And I never did that. But guys that have done it and it's not worked out for them, and they're a bit angry and bitter that the bar girlfriend had multiple sponsors, or they built an house for the freelancer girl and she took the house off them and they lost all the money and stuff. Sometimes you got to take things on the chin for what you did wrong, but guys don't want to, unfortunately. They want to blame everybody else, blame all Thailand, the whole Thai population for it, the whole of Thailand for it. It's not just down to them, it's down to you as well. But obviously not everybody's situation's like that, guys. Other people have met normal people, they've met women from good professions that have done the exact same thing to them. It's just that they want a bar girl. And sometimes guys have been manipulated, they have been done over, and that's why I like to share the stories, so you can get different perspectives and you can make your own mind up and stuff. But now the stories have been tarnished because it's full of fake ones. They've ruined it, and I don't feel even comfortable telling stories anymore in case people think mine are fake. I even got a comment on yesterday's video saying, you don't think Dan does the same? So as I always say to everybody, if you think that I make up the stories, you won't get anybody else that says this. Yeah, nobody. Yeah, I don't think anybody will have the balls to say this. But if you think that I make up stories on my channel, send me an email. I'll give you my contact details. We'll do a video call. I'll turn the video call round. I'll put it to my laptop. Ask me which video you wanna find the story on, and I'll show you in real time, scrolling through my emails, finding that email that refers to that story. I have no issue with that. All I ask is, in return of you wasting my bloody time, go back in the comments section, be a man, and basically just say, yeah, I went on, Dan proved his point. Yeah, he's not full of and that's it. We all crack on with our day. No harm, no foul. But guys don't want to take the time out to do that. I don't particularly want to take the time out to do that, but I'll do it just to prove a point, because I don't like to be accused of things that I've not done. It's not fair, you know. So yeah, anyway, I deviated from the politics, went on to that. I'm waffling again. Yeah. What else can we go on about? Guys, there wasn't a lot of talk in yesterday's video about my child. Yeah. And I think guys do seem to forget or don't seem to believe me, or I don't know what it is, to be honest. I can't get into everybody's mindset. I want to stay in England. Yeah. I lived in Thailand for a long time. I don't live in a holiday place. It's not fun. It's not exciting. Yeah, it's hot, very, very hot. Yeah, I know it's cold in England and it can be miserable and dull. But after living there for so long, it's nice to be cool. It's nice to not sweat every day. Believe me, it's a nice, fresh, refreshing change. And maybe in 3 months, 6 months, I might think, oh no, I want hot weather again or whatever. But right now, I'm loving it. It's nice, it's cool, it's chilled. And there's a lot of good things about being back in the UK, apart from it's bloody expensive, which I told you about yesterday in the video. And we can't escape from that. And I think it is going to get worse. And that's why I've mentioned about the politics in this video. I don't want to be coming back to England with my son in 1 or 2 years and it's worse than what it is now. And if people continue to be manipulated by TV, by the fake comments in these videos, by the media and the advertising and all that, it's just going to get worse. Life's going to get worse, and it's not fair for our kids that are going to grow up into this society. It has to be changed, and the only way it's going to change is if you wake up. But I understand you've got bills to pay, you've got everyday stresses, you've got debts, you've got a job to go to. You don't have time to think about it, but it's important, and something needs to change radically. Ciao for now. Bye bye.